Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now, for this video I had a bit of a trouble because I made it on Twitch and it was my mistake, but I made the audio really awful. So I immediately hide the video, and I'm doing this remake of the audio with a more fast forward video, because it was unaudible. It was awful. But anyway, here we have the three Greek gods, Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon, with each one's a different pose, according more to their personality, and with some shapes that fits with them. For Zeus, I chose the heart and the lightning. And for Poseidon, the triangle and the circle. And for Hades, the rectangle and the triangle. Why? Well, when we are attending to each one of these characters, I want you guys to really understand how they work, how the shapes show their personality. You see that I sketch some notes about the feeling that I wanted to give. And the most interesting of all was Hades, because Hades is a really misunderstood god. He's always playing as the bad one because he's the underworld guy, but I really like him. So anyway, with Zeus, I started with I wanted a heart shape on his head because I wanted a really big jaw and a really small head, because he wasn't a brain guy, yeah, if you know what I mean. He wasn't really smart, and I gave him a really beefy body, like really strong. And his nose, it was a mix between the heart and the lightning. I wanted to be, he's not really smart, but he's still the king gods. He's the king of the Olympus. He's the hero of the Olympus because he defeated Kronos. And I wanted a big mouth that is really close to the nose. It's a big jaw there. With the body, you will see that I flip a lot of times the image, because I realized that the arm was awful. He was misplaced. But I really like the torso. I drew him like strong, but a little bit tummy, because he's strong, yes, but he spends a lot of time seated on his throne. I wanted to give them that kind of, he's strong and then he has abs, but he is not really taking care of his own. You see here the problem that I have with the arm, and that's why you always should flip the page so you can see the mistakes. Here I was trying to avoid the tangents because sometimes it really bothers the drawing to grow if the tangents aren't right. But I really liked it. I wanted either way a big arm with big hands, because he needs to grab the lightning. But it's not really, it's a strength for show, not really for a smart kind of body. Now with the hair, I was trying to figure out if I wanted a more military hair. I had a bit of a trouble here because I didn't want a strictly military hair that would be reserved for Aries. I don't know how to pronounce this. Aries. Now I put three head shapes, and I was trying to figure out which one would be better. I tried like a heart shape, but it wasn't really working, as you can see. But anyway, and spiky hair, because he's a spiky guy. He got electrocuted with his lightning, but I really think that the military hair was better for him. Then I thought about an Elvis look, but it wasn't really working. But then I started to see, okay, but he makes him younger, but I don't want to make him younger. I want to make him an adult, the king of the gods. So I was figuring out, I wanted a beard, because Zeus is always represented with a beard. But Then I started to see the hair from behind. It was really cool. It's spiky, but it's from behind, so he has a little bit of military kind, spiky, and ladies' man appeal. So I like it. Then with the clothes, I wanted a cloth that it was for show. It was an emperor clothes. I wanted, but something not really short, because that would be for a god like Diana, like Apollo or Ares, athletic gods like Poseidon later. But I wanted something middle in the middle, because he's not trying to hide himself. He's strong. He's Zeus. He doesn't need to hide from himself. He wants to be shown. I wanted like the middle, but I didn't want to hide that part of his body, because I wanted to be like a little bit showing the tummy, if you know what I mean. Then I started with a middle knee kind of thing. I really like that, and the cape behind. But before I got a look like a Superman kind, and I really liked this kind of style here. And I wanted to make an emphasis of the bandage there and the bracelets. He's a god, he needs bracelets. And I drew the sandals as well. I wanted to have golden sandals for later. And a little crown that later I didn't draw because reasons. No, because I thought that it wasn't likely enough. Now for Poseidon, I was figuring out a lot of curves. He's the god of sea, the wave must be around him. And he's an athletic god to me. He was more active than Zeus. And he was also a ladies' man, so I wanted to give him that look and that kind, but I preserved the circular kind of look within an athletic, really dynamic pose. And if you realize that he's the only one that has one of the weapons, the trident. But honestly, Poseidon, it's not the one that I think is the best, but it was always one of my favorite gods when I was studying mythology. I really like him because he is the god of the sea, and I love the sea and everything that needs to be with the water and the sea and the lakes and everything. I was obsessed with this guy, and I read the Percy Jackson books. And the protagonist being the son of Poseidon, I mean, that was amazing. I really loved it, and I still love it. But he was, when you try to investigate a little bit, you realize that he was as ladies' man as Zeus, and as bad as he was. But nevertheless, I was now figuring out the eye and the brow. I wanted a circular kind of features to show that he is really adaptable. He is more complex than Zeus. Zeus is more simple, but Poseidon is more dynamic. He can you can't restrain water. Water adapts so many forms, and I wanted a form that it's adaptable, like the curve. And I wanted a long hair, but not really that long. I thought that the long hair would be better for Hades, like hiding his face. And for Poseidon, I wanted that hair of lady man, but I made it a little bit shorter, as you can see. And then I was thinking about a drop of water just to make the flow of his hair. And later, I started with the eyes. Now for his outfit, I was thinking, okay, he's the god of water and ocean and the sea, so he needs something like a bathing suit. He needs a more comfortable way of, a more comfortable outfit. So I thought, yeah, but that may make him a little bit naked. So I thought, okay, I have to use something for the up part. And I thought, hey, how about a little? I like that sleeve, but yeah, I'm going to make it half, not completely trapped in his body. I don't know. I really like that part. And I thought about some bracelets on his feet and his hand, but later I end up taking them away because I didn't like it, because he looked like a slave, and I didn't want him to look like a slave. He is free. He is the god of the sea and ocean, and the ocean is free. So there you have it. Poseidon. Now I was starting with Hades. I wanted for Hades a really slim god, like a guy that is really thin, that it's not. He doesn't look very healthy because he spends night and day in the underworld, and he doesn't see the sun like his brothers. And later, when I add color to them, I put Hades as the more pale of them. I really like that look, and I wanted to give him like a triangle kind of villain face, but not necessarily a villain kind of personality. I wanted him to be more human than his brothers, and with that eye looking like half open, because he unfortunately he doesn't like his brothers being the gods of everything. He got the worst job of all, and the more strict. He lives by the norm. He can let anyone go out from the underworld. He has to keep the norms. He's a rational guy. That's why I chose the rectangle and the triangle together, because he's a sharp guy. When there's something that he doesn't like, he says it. So see, he said it. And I wanted like really long clothes, hiding him, because he doesn't need to show up. He's not Zeus. He doesn't need to show up. He is the king of the underworld, and if someone messes with the underworld, he's gonna be there. But no one ever questioned Hades. That's why people were so terrified of him, because he was the god of death. Well, he wasn't really the god of death. That was Thanatos, I think. And then with the nose, I wanted like a really rectangle kind of nose, and careful with the tendons there. You see that I'm correcting them right now? Okay. And the eyes should be more rectangular, and and later I took it off, the cheekbone. I really like it. But I really think that I made through that kind of look. Then I figured out I'm not going to do the helmet, but I wanted to give the hair like really rectangular shape but falling down. He looks like the elf from the Lord of the Rings, like Elrond, I think it was called. And I didn't want that. I wanted like really going down, but he still looks like an elf because of the features. And so I added a little beard, like all of his brothers. Poseidon also has a beard, a more round, perfect beard. But Hades, no. Hades, he doesn't have a perfect. He has a sharp. And now here I'm figuring out the colors for later. Then I will change it, but I got more the look that I wanted. I wanted the purple for Zeus. He is a royal color for a royal god, and I wanted a really not so pale look, because he's all the time in the sky. He doesn't need to be so tame. But Poseidon, on the other hand, I wanted a green blue turquoise kind of color, and I wanted him to be tanned, because he is the god of sea and he stays on the beaches all day. And then for Hades, I wanted the ground curls, but later I will end up changing it to a more blue purple kind of blue, more pure blue, because I think that it was the analogy between the three brothers was essential. Though he's an outcast, he deserves to be blue too. He's a blue blood. He's royal as well. And there you have it. You can see the finished image on on my Instagram. I will link in the description. And thanks for watching. Bye!